Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin, where we cover the Bitcoin news, the memes, the fails, Bitcoin culture, all of it. Today we have a very special guest. We have Alex McShane. He is the head of multimedia Bitcoin magazine and also the head of programming at the Bitcoin conference. Alex, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Nico? What's up, Opti?
I'm super happy that you joined us. Today's a very, very interesting day. We'll get to that in a second. But anyways, Opti, it's time for the numbers.
Number time!
Brought to you by Nodl. They make some of the best Bitcoin nodes, like the Nodl One. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Dojo, and Whirlpool, all from the comfort of your own home. Remember, guys, if you don't run your own Bitcoin node like Nodl, you're using someone else's. And if you're a digital nomad, now you could use Nodl Cloud, and you could run a Nodl node through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu. At the time of this recording, the Bitcoin price is at 21,740. Sats per dollar is at 4,600. Sats held in corporate treasuries, 1,660,000 Bitcoin. Block height, 745,527. The amount of reachable Bitcoin nodes, you definitely want that number to keep going up, 15,467. The amount of Bitcoin issued, percentage issued, 90.93%. Blocks to the halving is 94,473. Halving estimate is April 18th, 2024. Those are the numbers. All right, so let me address the elephant in the room before we play the video. We'll get to it. We'll have a reaction to it. It's a really famous video, but I saved it because Alex was coming on the show and I'd love to get his thoughts on it. Anyways, guys, as you know, or if you don't, if you just live on YouTube land and you're not paying attention on Twitter, Phil, our co-host, decided to part ways. We had differences in differences in vision for the future of this channel. And, we wanted Phil to stay, but, he decided to step down. We love Phil. He was with us for 2 years. He's always going to have a special place in my heart. He's like a brother to me, but, I guess he just didn't want to be with us anymore. We will be promoting any of things that Phil works on, and I wouldn't count him out. I'm positive that he's going to start his Fun with Bitcoin podcast. So shout out to Phil, man, because he's a legend. Anyways, let's get to the video that we're going to react to. It's from, I would say, the most favorite Bitcoin economist, right? It's Hayek, and he had this great response. It's a 48-second clip. Let me play it, then we're going to riff on it. I know this is going to lead to good conversation. Anyways, let's check it out.
The internet is going to make it very difficult to collect taxes on services of all kinds. After all, you can complete these transactions in cyberspace, not on the ground. Computer companies now are getting their programming done in India. Mm-hmm. I doubt that anybody's paying any taxes on any of that. No. So that I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. The internet is going to make it very...
So I'm mistaken. That's not Hayek. That's actually Milton Friedman. So just correction on that. I actually thought that I posted a Hayek clip because he posted a Hayek clip in the back. But that's still a great clip. And it's really interesting, Alex, because there you have Milton Friedman, definitely before his time, really echoing the thesis of the sovereign individual. Very similar thesis, right? So I think it's very difficult for us to conceive that now because we're seeing how much governments are fighting the internet, right? Whether that's the Biden administration's attempt at the, disinformation bureau, right, that they tried to incorporate, or whether that is, Europe, where they're passing, they want to implement this bureaucracy that gets to decide what speech and what speech isn't, what speech is allowed and what speech isn't allowed in Europe, right? Or in China, for example, where their whole internet is censored through the Great Firewall of China, right? So do you still agree with all these things going on, Alex? Do you still agree with the sovereign individual's thesis and Milton Friedman's thesis?
Yeah, just from a personal standpoint, I agree with the sovereign individuals thesis, because I've found that the more Bitcoin I accumulate, the more I learn about sort of decentralized, sovereign life practices, privacy practices. It increases my capacity to be left alone by the government and to do trade without interference by the government. And that's a beautiful thing. So I think we're definitely still en route to a sovereign individual type thesis, where you'll see people who, I think the contemporary notions of nation states and nationalism, kind of a state citizenship identity, are just going to fall apart as more people accumulate this self-sovereign wealth that is Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Opti, you want to hit that?
Yeah, you before you brought up the sovereign individual thesis, I was thinking, just by the quality of the recording, I was wondering what time that was recorded and whether he had read the sovereign individual, because he was saying exactly what we're saying.
That looked like that was in the 80s.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But it looks like it.
Yeah, exactly. That was where my head is at. And for him, like you said, for him to be so prescient about it, to see it before you have the blueprint is just amazing, And then furthermore, guys, we are seeing the sovereign individual thesis play out in real time, and we are seeing this happen everywhere, and it's happening so fast that we're missing it, because as you were alluding to, that Hyatt clip that I thought was going to be played about the only way that we're going to take the money out of the government's hand is by a roundabout way. And this is what we're doing, guys. That is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the roundabout way to take money away from the state. And furthermore, guys, like I'm not sure whether the sovereign individual is completely playing out, but it's playing out as far as I can tell. If you read the sovereign individual, you very much understand, like, wow, this is telling us exactly what's happening. This is the blueprint, and it becomes more obvious every single day, in my opinion. So that's my take.
Absolutely. So back to Alex. So in specific, so let me ask you something, because yes, the tools that are given to us by the internet and then by Bitcoin, right? The layers on top of layers. They are going to facilitate definitely more financial sovereignty and freedom over governments. But don't you think that governments are going to fight back? Like, what is the future of that in your mind? Like, my perspective is I believe that the next 5-10 years are going to be highly contentious, as these old bureaucratic institutions are going to try to remain in power. Like, for example, we covered a press release by the United Nations yesterday, and they were literally advocating what they wanted governments to do is to de-incentivize people to use Bitcoin and shitcoins, right? Either through taxes or through regulation, right? What is your perspective, especially from where you work, from what you've seen? I'm sure that you've had privileged conversations that not a lot of people have, that are not in your situation. So what are your thoughts on that, Alex?
I think we're going to see populations get bullied into using central bank digital currencies, and we should reject them at all costs. And we're going to see disinformation campaign after disinformation campaign brought against Bitcoin. And that's fine, because Bitcoin doesn't need their approval. We can use it. We can use it peer to peer. It does make it more difficult to get hyper Bitcoinization into action, right? It's hard to get the thing into hands of more people when every day on the news they just hear nonsense about it. But I think we're fighting a good fight, man. And I think their chance to squash this thing is pretty much gone, to be honest. I think Bitcoin will win in the end.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Bitcoin will win, but I tweeted this out. It's not I'm not concerned about the finish line. What I am concerned about is the transition, and I feel like the transition is definitely going to be a bumpy one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be ugly, man. I think people should give it a try. If you've never bought Bitcoin, buy it, put it in cold storage, just give it a try, see what it's like. You'll feel the freedom from that first transaction. You'll start to understand what this is all about. And because if you don't have it, I mean, things might get ugly, man. I mean, censorship, controls on your money. It's not these aren't games. Think about how hard it is to spend your own money as it is, or to save, or to store value across time and space. They're making it very difficult for you to accumulate any economic power in this world.
Absolutely. I spot on. And, I think the Canada protests, Bitcoin Magazine had an amazing issue that covered that. That was, there you go. That was literally an example of what a future might hold. That wasn't even with central bank digital currencies. That was just with the regular banking system, and they were able to have that much control. Imagine a central bank digital currency where they don't even have to go through banks. There's just a guy in a bureaucratic office who's just like, oh, I don't like them processing. And that's really what we're fighting against. Anyways, Opti, you wanna wrap up the segment?
Yeah, man. Well, first off, every time I hear bureaucrats talk about CBDCs, it blows my mind how much of a dystopian psychopath these people really are. It's absolutely crazy. And then just to your point, I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of pain in this transition, but that's why we come here, show up every day to try to make sure that you guys are stacking sats, that you understand what is going on out there, because Bitcoin will be the life raft that saves you. Because guys, what we're all doing here, I've said it before, and it's kind of a bad meme, but I say we're sacrificial lambs for a reason, guys. Like, we are the pioneers here. We are the ones taking the risks. Like, we are the ones that are exiting the system and helping other people exit the system. So in the future, guys, they're gonna look back at us and be like, those crazy psychopath, illiterate Bitcoiners, those Bitcoin maximalists were absolutely insane for doing this. But I can only give my utmost thanks to them, because if we succeed at what we're doing, guys, we are freeing humanity from fiat slavery. And what more could we do than try to usher in more freedom on this world?
Yeah, fucking spot on, my friend. But anyways, Opti, it's time for
the Daily News.
Brought to you by CryptoCloaks.com. They make some of the best 3D printed Bitcoin merch, like the famous 3D printed Bitcoin grenade toy. Comes with any custom color your heart desires. You want it Peter Schiff colors? That's right, it comes in gold. And the European store is now open. You can take advantage of the promo code down below to get 10% off CryptoCloaks.com. So when we did the recording, we're about to talk about BlueWallet, and we were basing our information based on a post by No BS Bitcoin. We've been updated ever since then, and the update is that the BlueWallet feature that apparently sends data to BlueWallet servers is opt-in. It's clearly labeled. So just to make that minor correction before we get into the show. However, the conversation between Alex and Opti, I think it's very useful, and I think it still, really highlights the benefits of open source. So it's not as bad as it was before. Initially, we reported that BlueWallet was sending transaction data to their servers, even when connected to the personal node. That's what we reported initially. But that is clearly not the case. It's an opt-in. It's clearly featured, and we'll make sure to do better next time in terms of confirming our sources. So sorry about that. But anyways, let's get back to the show with Alex and Optimus Fields. All right, everybody. So this is a very popular Bitcoin wallet, the BlueWallet. A lot of people have it on their phones. I myself included, but something came out today, and it was very, very disheartening. Let's talk about it. This is from the GitHub, and there's a comment that says, when a user uses custom Electrum server, make him aware that his address or transactions are still leaked to a push notification server. I'm going to translate that last part and say to a BlueWallet server. And when it says custom Electrum server, that's a way of saying when a user connects to his node, his addresses and his transactions are still being pushed to a BlueWallet server. Very interesting. And here is, Cavalia, which we've had on the show. He likes to say, but this is great. I appreciate it that you could switch it off, but by default, it's enabled, but Cavalio says nothing, if some things are off, if the push notifications are off, nothing is sent to ground control. So a couple things, right? And again, I'm not a software developer, so I'm not gonna pretend I know the technicalities of it, but couple questions. Why is that enabled by default? Why was that not disclosed? And here's open source doing its fucking magic, right? Someone found this, someone reported it, and now it's out in the open. And what I assume is going to happen from the BlueWallet team, especially by the pressure from the Bitcoin community, is that they're going to definitely offer some type of mitigation or fix or patch that. Maybe have the push notifications off by default. One last thing. Why are the push notifications pushing people's addresses and transactions? I'm not a developer, so I don't know the answer to that question, but from my simple-minded pleb mind, something fishy is going on there. Look, privacy is obviously not of, from my understanding, I don't know, man. I feel like there should have been more disclosure. Alex, what are your thoughts? And we'll pass it on to Opti.
I'm bad at privacy. I should be better, but I am a huge privacy advocate, so I agree with you. I don't understand the full mechanics of what's going on there, but I also saw that, and I think, those should be probably off by default. I mean, it made me happy. I've never connected Electrum to my Blue Wallet, but I gotta say, I'm also more of a Moon wallet guy. I find Blue Wallet to be difficult in that it kind of differentiates Bitcoin and Lightning, on-chain and Lightning, and that's confusing to people. Like, this is the same fucking thing. Why do we do that? So I have other issues with that app, but hey, I hope they fix it. Like you said, this is the beauty of open source. It's pretty much the only way to go if you really want to verify and not trust the applications that you're using.
100%. Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, so I tweeted this morning from the Simply Bitcoin account. And I tried to do as much research. I haven't fully did the full don't trust verify, but in response to the tweet, the Blue Wallet official account responded to us, and they told me to don't trust verify, and furthermore, they said that apparently that feature is off by default now. So I don't know exactly when that was changed or what happened, but like you said, maybe this is something that they, didn't really want to get noticed, but now it's noticed now, and maybe they're backtracking a little bit. And I'm a Blue Wallet user. I've recommended Blue Wallet. I think it's pretty simple. It's one of the main wallets I use on my phone. So, and again, I understand the trade-off that, hey, it's on my phone right now. It's not connected to my node. It's not like I have much coin on that wallet, but it's definitely unfortunate to see. Hopefully it gets patched up or it's not a big deal or what have you. And I will definitely look into it, guys. So I'll do an update whenever I get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, so I'm scrolling and I totally didn't realize that they replied to the Simply Bitcoin account. Yeah, they said not true. And then Simply Bitcoin, you said, but it said, I don't want to FUD, just reporting. And they said, don't trust, verify, understood. And then Bitcoin Pleb said, when I connected my node to Blue Wallet, I would pay fees when sending to my brother, even though we had... It's another comment. Honk
with a lot of K's responding to the post that I did. I don't want to FUD. He goes, prove it. And they go, just go check it. This feature is off by default. So...
I mean, it's weird because on the
switch it, or I don't know.
Did they switch it?
GitHub says something different. They're posting something different. We'll get to the bottom of it.
But still, it highlights really the beauty of open source, right? That's honestly what I want to focus on, because if this was a closed source project, you would literally have no idea, not even a way to verify. You would have to just trust them. Anyways, moving on, covering our favorite shitcoin casino, Coinbase. More bear market pain. Crypto exchange Coinbase is temporarily shutting down its U.S. affiliate marketing program. This is a quote from Coinbase. We regret to inform you that Coinbase will be temporarily shutting down its affiliate program in the United States with an effective date of Tuesday, July 19th. The emails read, this has not been an easy decision, nor was it made lightly, but due to crypto market conditions, the outlook for the remainder of 2022, Coinbase is unable to continue supporting incentivized traffic to the platform. On June 14th, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong announced in a blog post that the company was laying off 18% of its staff, or roughly 1,100 employees. On Friday, Bloomberg reported that Coinbase is now the world's 14th largest crypto exchange, down from the 4th position in less than a year. Get wrecked, Coinbase. We've always said Coinbase is an enemy of Bitcoin. Their incentives are not aligned with Bitcoin. Brian Armstrong took a bet with shitcoins that he believed that he could, he benefited off Bitcoin. He initially started Bitcoin, and then thinking that he could expand his business, he started offering shitcoins. And I think Brian Armstrong is smart enough to understand that he is peddling hot garbage. So yeah, I, at the same time, I don't want to see any business fail, because that's a lot of people with a lot of jobs, with a lot of families to feed. So I'm not gonna, talk shit about that, but live by the shitcoin, die by the shitcoin. And it's not only Coinbase laying off staff, their stock is down a lot, right? So totally wrecked. But Brian Armstrong definitely ran off like a bandit and definitely sold that stock to the public, man. Like, it's funny because the shitcoin scammers, it doesn't matter if, they're the head of this huge exchange that went public, they're still doing the same thing that smaller shitcoin scammers are doing, right? They're dumping their shit, whether it's Coinbase coins or whether it's developer coins, onto the public. And I bet you Brian Armstrong is using that to buy Bitcoin. Anyways, Alex, what are your thoughts?
Hey man, I think stocks are shit coins too. I'm with you. I don't like Coinbase. I don't trust Coinbase. I haven't used it. I want to say it was great in the beginning, but it wasn't great in the beginning. It led me astray. It had me buying all kinds of weird shit like years ago. Quick story about Coinbase. Someone started a rumor that I was Brian Armstrong at the Bitcoin 2022 conference. So I got approached by between 7 and 10 people, really hounding me for interviews. Brian, please, talk. And next time I'm not saying no, I'm going to take the interview and tell them we're selling everything. We're going Bitcoin only.
Dude, I mean, you look like him in terms of your bald, but other than that, you don't really look like him.
I know. I don't get it. I need to lean into it more.
But if you played the role, people would definitely believe it. If you played the role, just
put a suit on.
Act like kind of like an alien. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts? Oh, go ahead, Alex. Sorry, I didn't realize you were.
I guess in all fairness, one more thing. I work for a bigger company, not nearly as big as Coinbase. We only have 100 employees or so, but we're feeling the bear market. Everybody is. So I would expect more, tightness to come down on the whole industry, and people are going to lose employees, and it's sad, but it is what it is, man. I hope that those employees that were was this Coinbase who offered people jobs and then took away the jobs before they started, after they'd quit their previous jobs? Yeah, I hope all those people find work in the real Bitcoin industry, which is not in shitcoin casinos, but in Bitcoin only companies.
So, Opti, what are your thoughts on another Coinbase disaster? So many disasters for Coinbase this year.
Yeah, well, I was going to start off with that. We've been reporting on this since we started seeing signs. And man, I don't want to say there's trouble in paradise for Coinbase, because that would be bad for all of us here. Because if Coinbase crashed, guys, that's going to make all of us look real bad. So I'm hoping that they were a lot smarter than all this bad news is portraying them to be. But as we've seen this bear market, there's been a lot of companies that got bailed out recently. And guys, like I said, if Coinbase happens to be one of these people, man, it's going to be really ugly for all of us. And the shitcoiners really are bringing us down with regards to them fucking everything up. Excuse my French, Nico. Another point, though, I think it was yesterday or maybe it was this morning, but Binance has also passed Coinbase on one of the bigger exchanges now. So not only are they losing, their customers, they need to downsize, but they're losing market share, and they've been losing market share to FTX and all these other companies. So guys, again, I said it before and I'll say it again. We are in the Bitcoin space. Do not kill the golden goose. Say Bitcoin like a man. Say it with your chest, guys. We are here for the Bitcoin revolution. Stop shitcoining. It's bad for you.
Yeah, spot on, Opti. All right, last article before we move on to the fail. A change of tune. This is really surprising. This is by Reuters. Let's check out what it has to say. Consumer-focused digital tokens issued by private companies could be better than central bank issued tokens, assuming that companies can be regulated appropriately. The Australian central bank governor said on Sunday. How long until this person suicides themselves? Philippe Loh was speaking in a panel discussion at the G20 financial officials meeting in Indonesia that was streamed online. At the same discussion, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority chief said greater scrutiny of such tokens could help reduce the risk from decentralized finance, which we all know is really CeFi, not DeFi. Anyways, this is partly in response to the development of so-called stablecoins, privately issued tokens such as Tether or USDC, whose value is pegged to that of a traditional asset. Before you guys get too excited, this is why he's saying it. If these tokens are going to be used widely by the community, they're going to need to be backed by the state or regulated just as we regulate bank deposits. So yeah, what's interesting though, a couple things, because it's a lot of noise. Okay, a couple things. First of all, there's obviously debate. Not all bankers believe central bank digital currencies. And why don't they believe that? Here's the pickle that they're in. If they do full central bank digital currencies, retail banks, commercial banks are no longer necessary. Why not just have an account directly with your central bank? Right, so obviously the retail banks, right, are obvious. They have a lot of money to donate to politicians. They're going to be fighting back, right? And that part of the article that said, oh, these were introduced partly because of stable coins and Bitcoin and all that. That's bullshit. They literally introduced them because of Bitcoin specifically. And one last thing with the stable coins offer false financial sovereignty. Remember, if your money's in Tether, if your money's in USDC and Tether could still freeze it. They might not be able to seize it like in the old system, but they could still freeze your money. And Bitcoin, because it's a truly decentralized system, no one could freeze it and no one could seize it, right? So I think a lot of people are going to learn those lessons. I think the people that got burnt by the Luna, mishap, I guarantee you that some of them are only Bitcoin because of that experience. It's only when shit hits the fan, you burn yourself on the stove, that you really start to feel or understand the benefits of a truly decentralized cryptocurrency, and the only one that exists is Bitcoin. Anyways, Alex, what are your thoughts?
I think you hit it spot on. I mean, I think, Bitcoin is the only solution. It's kind of like picking the lesser of two evils, to which I would just kind of turn a blind eye and say, if you guys want to mess around with that stuff, go get burned. But that's what leads to surveillance state capitalism. That is not a free market. I'm not interested in touching any of that. I will not be putting any value in USDC or Tether. It's all in Bitcoin.
Amen. Opti, hit it, bro.
Man, guys, just buy Bitcoin. Like, who wants to be a part of the panopticon that these guys are shilling you? Like, don't fall for the narrative that this digital currency is going to be for your benefit. We know that it's the opposite. It's to control you guys. Opt out, buy Bitcoin. It's really this simple.
Amen. Anyways, Opti, it's time for
the Daily Fail.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. It's a Bitcoin stacking app by plebs for plebs. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size, $10 to $10 million.
All right, guys, I am here to do the fail. And it just looks like this Three Arrows Capital is going to continue to give us fail opportunities. So in the news, we have this headline: Three Arrows Capital co-founder files $5 million claim against own firm while on the run. So we reported on this a while ago. It seems that Zusu, one of the co-creators of Three Arrows Capital, has been missing, but apparently he had enough time to file a claim to get $5 million back from his insolvent hedge fund. But I don't think that that is the main fail. That is obviously part of the fail, but the main fail, in my opinion, is back to the idea of this crypto contagion going on in the market, guys. All of these companies got over leveraged, and that would be bad in and of itself, that they got over leveraged and they didn't stay humble and they're getting wrecked when the price dumps. But that would only be part of the issue. The main issue is that here, as we can see, all these companies got over leveraged with each other, and they're all in bed together, and they're literally taking out debt from one company to pay another company, and then taking that debt out to pay back the other company. And it's just one giant shit show going on over here, guys. So look at some of these companies that are a part of this claim, and the total amount of claim on Three Arrows Capital, as you can see, is $2.8 billion. So I wonder how much will be left over once they take everything. So the companies here is Digital Currency Group, Voyager, DFinance, Celsius, BlockFi, Galaxy Digital, BitGo, Algorand, and as I said, a total claim of $2.8 billion, with one of the main claims being 3AC Limited Fund. And guys, I'm a left bell curve Bitcoiner. So what does it mean to lay claim on something, guys? It's to assert that one has the legal or property right to own or possess this, guys. So they're trying to take back whatever they can because they are incredibly wrecked. And then just to make things worse, as I was telling you, these companies are over leveraged one upon each other. And as you can see, Genesis, parent company of Digital Currency Group, files for a $1.2 billion claim against Three Arrows Capital, guys. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. Like, how bad of debt can we all get into to be extremely bullish on Bitcoin? So they file $1.2 billion. Most of this is just the idea that the investors are trying to get their money back, guys. And I say all that just to tell you guys what we tell you guys always. Stay humble, stack sats, because these people don't care about your Bitcoin. They're trying to take your Bitcoin. They're over leveraged. Don't give people your Bitcoin to do risky things with that Bitcoin, because as you will see, you will never get that Bitcoin back. And this is just one example of all the contagion and stuff going on in the market. But now we have the proof that they were all embedded together. They got over leveraged, and the market is feeling that pain. So again, as I said with Coinbase, guys, these shitcoiners bring us down. All this risky stuff is why we were in this pain. Everyone got way too bullish, over leveraged. We all thought we're going to the moon, and we didn't assess our risk. And this is the situation we're in, guys. Stay humble, stack sats, make sure you survive this bear market, because who knows how long it will be down, guys. Just make sure your Bitcoin's in cold storage and live life, guys. Man, get off Twitter, go do something. Nico, thoughts?
Yeah, dude, it's totally a freaking disaster. It's a giant clusterfuck. Whoa, is that lightning?
Yeah, that was lightning.
That was
thunderstorm.
That was crazy. I heard that from here. Yeah, no, it's a total clusterfuck. There was mining companies that were getting loans from those companies too, and the mining companies were using miners as collateral. That's absolutely insane. That is total clown world. This is just total degeneracy. It's a continuation of the fiat system. That's what crypto is. It's like the fiat system times 100, right? So am I surprised that they all got in bed with each other and they just borrowed from each other, and this is no. And it's exactly what you said, Opti. They all thought Bitcoin was going to go to the moon forever. They all thought they were good. And then when shit hits the fan, people start, they start stopping withdrawals. Celsius just filed for bankruptcy. And the type of bankruptcy that they filed for was a bankruptcy where their investors would be made whole first before their customers. Like, it's so fucked up. These people don't care about you. And to use Odell's famous line, all you got to do, stay humble, stack sats, take it into cold storage, and this won't happen to you. Anyways, Alex, what are your thoughts?
A lot of thoughts. I've been deep diving on funds, man. I'm thinking about my own, launching a Bitcoin focused fund on Bitcoin only companies that do not fuck with leverage. Because the way that I see it, 90+% of the world's capital is moving through these funds, which, by the way, you don't need a fucking license to start up. They're very unregulated. Leverage and getting in bed with these shitcoin casino Ponzi schemes is what's sinking all of these businesses. So it's just like steer clear away from them. Like you said, the clearest path, the simplest path is the truest. Just buy Bitcoin, keep it in cold storage. If you're hungry for more, go build, go raise more cash, get your cash inflows going and buy more Bitcoin. You don't need to mess around with this stuff.
Absolutely. Could not have said it better myself. Anyways, Opti, you got another fail?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right. So I saw this and I thought it was absolutely hilarious because you guys know my position. My heuristic is if it's not Bitcoin, it's a shitcoin and stay away from it. But I know there's a lot of people still out there wondering the difference between Bitcoin and shitcoin. Well, Binance has the dApp for you guys. As you can see, dAppBay is an upcoming dApp and it screens the level of risk on new shitcoin projects. So as you can see, if you're looking for Web3 projects and you need to learn more and invest in, and you're spending too much time and effort trying to find early stage projects and missing out on great investment opportunities, well, we have the dApp for you. The dAppBay is easily screen Web3 projects and eliminate the above issues. So they created a dApp, a smart contract on the Binance chain. What's it? BNB chain. I forget what it stands for. But anyways, using market data, dAppBay allows the BNB chain community to shortlist and rank the best recently launched projects such as GameFi, DeFi, NFTs, and others. And due to this red alarm feature, guys, you can stay one step ahead of scammers. The system warns in real time of potential risk associated with these projects, allowing you to make better informed decisions, guys. They are here for your safety. They bringing you products to the market that make sure you don't buy scams using the latest market trends and the latest project projections. As you can see, it's all based on market data with fastest user growth and best performing tokens and trending rankings. Guys, I'm not even going to get full through the project because, as you know, all these shit coins is garbage. The fact that they are using this smart contract BNB chain to make it seem like they are giving you the correct and the most informative decisions so that you don't get scammed out of your Bitcoin is literally like a slap in the face, guys. It just shows you how naive they think you are. That, oh, because we're giving you this market data, you will make a good decision and not scam yourself. It's like straight up psychology, reverse psychology 101. It's like, I'm gonna scam you, but I'm going to give you the tools so you don't get scammed. And people still fall for this, guys. So I know we're a broken record, but just stay focused on Bitcoin. Bitcoin only education is what will help you survive this. You don't need this smart chain, smart contract market data to tell you that these shitcoins are scams, because as we've been showing you day in and day out, these shitcoiners know that they are scamming people. They base all their projects on Ponzi-nomics and experimentation to make it okay for them to scam you out of your Bitcoin, guys. Just stay humble, stack sats, enjoy your life. Bitcoin will help you survive this great reset because we are pricing the world in Satoshis, guys, and they just don't know it yet. Anyways, Nico, McShane, what are you guys thinking?
What's the second best, Optimus?
What's the second best? There is no second best.
Oh man, dude, look, the dApp, the thing, like, it's just, there's so much bullshit. You know, they're all designed to, you know, convince you to part ways with your Bitcoin, stay away from it. Doesn't need to be a token, like, it just doesn't, you know. And I think it's just it's like it's trying to justify its existence by all these bells and whistles. But there's really nothing there under the hood but just a scam. Anyways, Alex, what do you think?
Yep, 100%. I stick to Bitcoin. It looks like BNB is taking a play out of the government's playbook. racketeering, just trying to solve problems it creates and selling you both the problem and the solution at the same time. That's like COVID-19 101. That's like the US government. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from it, man. I don't trust those guys. It's crazy how I can't believe like CEO after CEO how their principles just go out the window as they're able to bring in more capital. It's like, stay true to your principles, man. If I ever veer off that course, please come at me. It is not good to have no principles. Just sell people garbage.
Dude, it's totally fucked up. It's a scam, but it's, just stay humble, stack sats, avoid that shit. Even though I know it can be very alluring, especially if you're just getting into the space. But you either learn the easy way or the hard way. It's really up to you. But anyways, Opti, it's time for
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Citadel 21. They make the best Bitcoin cultural zines, stories, articles, comics by actual Bitcoiners. This is the artwork for Volume 10. This is the artwork for Volume 11. And this is the artwork for Volume 2. Volume 2 is almost sold out because there's only 1,000 physical copies made per volume. Get your prints of Citadel 21 today. All right, everybody, welcome to the Daily Bitcoin Meme Review. We review Bitcoin memes. Memes play an essential role not only in Bitcoin culture, but in this narrative trench warfare that we're fighting hand-to-hand on the battleground of the internet against central banks and governments. Anyways, first meme by Ghost of Becca. Let's check it out. Extra, read all about it. And, it's covering what happened. Empire, Phil quits before filming. Empire in crisis. YouTube show in ruins after Optimus joined. Nico's nightmare. Optimus is soundboard. Yellow said that he started the fight, and then that's when Optimus had the thing. And then here's Lynn and Dieter when spaces debate. So absolutely. And then oh my god. Anyways, shout out Becca. Very creative. Thank you for including us. All right, next one by RD. When a shitcoiner says your toxicity is damaging to Bitcoin, you put in earplugs. I like that. All right, next one. This is Ethereum is a shitcoin. The legendary Bitcoin Tina. Here is Believe the Hype. Ethereum is the mother asshole from which shitcoins spring. Saifedean being savage. This is some signal, and this is why we tell you to stick to Bitcoin, because as the years go by, the top 10 always changes. But you know what stays on the top? The king, and the king is Bitcoin. All right, the last one, this quick little video without sound, right? It says, where do we start? Grandpa, why does gas cost so much? Me, who pays attention to global geopolitical events. Let's watch the video. Pull it out. Oh, the receipts. Highly accurate. I feel like that's what happens when I'm at the dinner table. Anyways, for those awesome memes, I don't even know. I don't have a score ready. Oh, yes, I do. I'm going to give it this empty Amazon Basics box. Yeah. Boom. Optimus, what would you give those memes?
Okay. Well, in honor of Phil, I am doing trinkets. So it's this 1/8" quarter audio adapter that I use for the spaces, guys. This is how we make it sound so good for you.
Boom. Alex, what would you give those memes?
I give them a gold grinder.
Oof.
That's what it's got to be.
Gold grinder, you can never go wrong with that. Anyways, guys, we want to know if you agree with our scores, you disagree. Let us know down in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to us on alternative video platforms for obvious reasons, like rumble.com, our personal favorite, bitcointv.com. They don't censor because it's Bitcoin TV. And make sure to join our Telegram group where you could link us some Bitcoin memes to review. It's really easy. All you got to do is click the link down below. And if you're listening to the audio version of this show, make sure to stay until after the show where our friends at Swan Bitcoin and Optimus are going to host a spaces together. It's going to be awesome. Shane might make it too. So this will be a party. Definitely want to stay. But anyways, Optimus, there was an open source software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software release.
Brought to you by CypherSafe. You got to store your seed phrase, right? Either store it. The default option that comes with hardware wallets is paper. Don't do that. What if there's a flood? What if there's a fire? What if there's unforeseen circumstances. You definitely want to store your seed in metal, and CypherSafe is perfect for that. It's fireproof, waterproof, pet proof. It's tamper resistant. They have the Cypher grid, the Cypher wheel. You definitely want to go check them out. CypherSafe.io. All right, everybody, the software release for today is Bitcoin Pay Server version 1.6.0. It's a payment user interface. It's open source. It enables you, if you have a website, you plug in the Bitcoin Pay Server, you get paid directly in Bitcoin. Because it's not centralized, because it's open source, because it's a software, there's no KYC, right? It's just directly to the vendor. It's really awesome. I think it's one of the most important projects in the space. Of course, make sure to subscribe to us on alternative video or audio platform. No, not alternative. Make sure to subscribe to us on alternative video platform. Sorry, guys, this is the first time I'm doing this. Usually Phil does this. Like Rumble.no, not Rumble, Anchor, Apple Podcast, Fountain, all of that good stuff. Also want to give a very special shout out to our clothing sponsor, RepresentLTD.com. Optimus is wearing the Bitcoin merch. I'm wearing the Represent merch. Super awesome. Really cool. Go check out RepresentLTD.com. You get 10% off with the promo code down below. Also, check out our blog that's being written by the legendary Pirate Beach Bum, www.simplybitcoin.news. Definitely want to check it out. Also, check out our special guest, Alex McShane. He is the head of multimedia at Bitcoin Magazine, and he is the head of programming at the Bitcoin conference. Anyways, guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Of course, you want to continue hearing the Bitcoin news from the pleb perspective, the catastrophic fails from the same perspective, the culture, the memes, all of that. Definitely consider subscribing to Simply Bitcoin. Optimus, what's the second best?
What's the second best? There is no second best.